Yo, it's Trivelli, I'm back, and today I'm going to be telling you guys why I think the Miami Hurricanes basketball team is primed to make a serious run in the NCAA tournament this year. So if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get this channel out to as many people as possible. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you get my daily notifications for when I'm dropping videos, which is going to be Monday through Friday, because I'm never slacking. Now, let's jump into the action.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.
So first of all, I just want to apologize for the lack of content and comment responses, as I've been dealing with health issues, moving, and unfortunately the loss of a close family member, so TSD has just not been doing the best here. But I will be moving to Tampa by March 25th, and hopefully after I settle into my new house with an office and studio space, I'll be back to 3 to 5 videos a week for you guys. So thank you for sticking with your boy, and let's jump back into the action. So Miami has been on a surge ever since losing to Alabama by 30 in late November, with only 7 losses coming in the last 3 months, and all but one of these games were decided by 5 points or less, meaning this team never gives up and constantly fights. The Syracuse win at the end of the season showed the grit needed to be a tourney winner, as they found themselves down over 15 points in the second half to come back and win that game. They showed grit and resolve on the road. They also showed upset ability with a win versus Duke at Cameron, a close loss to them in the ACC tourney. But besides their resume on the season, specific player traits and coaching gives Miami a huge chance to spoil plans for not only USC, but Auburn and teams moving forward. So let's jump into a roster breakdown, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I think Miami is primed for this run. The scoring duties are handled by the 3 guards of this team, with McGusty averaging 17.6, Wong averaging 15.2, and Charlie Moore averaging 12.6 and dishing out 4.5 assists per game. McGusty is basically an NBA player. Wong is basically an NBA player. In my opinion, both of these guys are good enough to be in the league. They have some of the best one-on-one ISO scoring abilities in the ACC and have consistently got the Canes points down the stretch of tight games by simply creating space and knocking down insanely NBA-like shots. All 3 guards shoot the 3 above 30%. All 3 guards shoot free throws above 72%. All 3 average a steal or better, and all 3 average 2 turnovers or less a game. To me, this is a serious recipe for success, and a wild card here is that Moore extends the defense because he's capable of shooting from the logo and has shown the willingness to take the shot multiple times a game to keep the defense guessing. Now, getting to the role players, which these 2 are starters, but so important to the success of the team: guard forward Jordan Miller and forward center Sam Wardenberg. These 2 have been instrumental as utility players in just so many ways for the Canes. See, Miller is the fundamental 3-and-D player who gives maximum effort on D and consistently flies in for tip-ins, offensive boards, and fast break layups. He's also so important for guarding several positions and staying engaged on offense as well. Wardenberg is your typical I can stretch you out, hit the 3 type of center. He puts the ball on the floor, he dribbles to the hole, he can poster you, he can make passes at a very high level off pick and roll action and or handoffs. He's just that type of big. He reminds me of a skinnier and less talented Jokic, but nonetheless similar in his high utility value. Off the bench is going to come 6'9" forward Anthony Walker, who could be a monumental piece in guarding players like Mobley for USC and Jabari Smith for Auburn. He doesn't contribute much on offense, but he is there to foul those players like Mobley and Smith and let them know that, hey, we got a 6'9" forward too who can jump out the roof and use his athleticism to bring those things to an even playing field. So overall, when I think of this roster, I think they're very well rounded. They're not too deep, but they have multiple guards who can get their own shot, a great defense that causes many turnovers a game, a utility center who can facilitate offensively and defensively, and the perfect role players to fill any voids missing when McGusty, Wong, or Moore hit the bench for a rest. Team statistics show the Hurricanes are a threat due to their shooting percentages, which across the board are better than both USC and Auburn in all categories. Also, their 8.7 steals per game can easily turn any upset into a possibility. Now, how are the Hurricanes going to beat USC specifically? I think the Hurricanes have better shot takers and makers. Give me more Wong and McGusty over Ellis and Peterson all day. I know this may be unpopular to some, but I also think that the travel alone for USC having to come to the East Coast to play in South Carolina will also be more of an issue than Miami, who is just a 2-hour flight away, and they regularly travel to the Carolinas for ACC play. And finally, just forcing turnovers for Miami and executing at the free throw line will be the difference. I think Miami's free throw percentage is 8% better than USC, and that right there should be a concern concern for Trojan fans. They also have 4 more steals a game than Trojans. These crucial differences, in my opinion, they will be outlined in the final box score when Miami wins by, let's say, 2 to 3 points and USC has 5 to 6 misses or more from the free throw line, as well as multiple turnovers. Now, the matchup versus Auburn, obviously Auburn will be a whole nother monster with Kessler, Smith, Wendell, Green, and KD, but still the reason I think people are overlooking Miami is because they just look at the record and not the way that Miami plays. If Miami can find a way to slow down Kessler in the paint, they will be able to hang with Auburn. And like I said, steals, free throws, and being able to take and make difficult shots will always be the path to success versus a better team. Think about the 16 seed UMBC when they pulled off history. They beat number 1 Virginia a few years back because they shot the ball extremely well and honestly matched up well defensively. And Miami might be able to do the same thing here. Just like Miami will have issues with the bigs of Auburn, Auburn might struggle with the 4 guards of Miami who start and run the break very often. I think a prime problem for Auburn will be the KD Johnson versus McGusty matchup. He's giving up 5 inches to McGusty, which he'll be foaming at the mouth anytime he gets him in a relative zone or a one-on-one matchup. He's going to be hitting those step backs from 3, one after the other versus this kid. I think momentum swings in big games come from those type of big threes by the underdog, and when the favorite does not answer, the run can begin for Miami. When I checked the stats, I was shocked to find Auburn guards are averaging under 30% from 3 this year, and when Miami is hitting threes off steals and breaks, it's going to be extremely tough for Auburn to match this with 2s going inside. I just think people are overlooking how good the Miami guard play is, and having the perfect role players to play tough D and rebound is going to be huge in this tournament for the U. So yeah, I think not only does Miami have a shot of beating USC, but if they can get hot from 3 versus Auburn, it could get very ugly very quickly for the Tigers. Now you might be asking, let's talk about the Sweet 16. What about Wisconsin? That's assuming Wisconsin gets there. Guys, we don't know who's going to be there yet. I think we should just wait until it happens, and then if it does happen, I'll break down that game as well. But let's go Canes, and if you agree Miami could have a Cinderella run this year, let me know in the comments below. Have a great day, and peace!
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.